Production.
What is poppin'? We're going to break down Roblox stock here, Rblx. So first things first, whenever I'm looking at a stock, I like to point out major zones that I like to pay attention to. And right off the rip, we're going to mark out this area, because this looks like it could be some sort of support. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major touches on the weekly time frame. So that could be our major low or major support in the stock. Not guaranteed, but it's something that we're gonna point out here. And secondly, I would mark out this zone right here. Now this level seems to be a resistance, okay? Now this could be considered an equilibrium trend. Even further so, when we zoom in and kind of get a look into it, we have a clean downward channel going on here that's been happening since August 2022. So depending on how you want to mark that out on your charts, you could slide it up a bit, but we got a bunch of touches of this lower trend line and a bunch of touches of this upper trend line. Right? So from a monthly, weekly perspective, since August, we have a clear downtrend going on, right? We have this high, we mark a low, we mark a lower high here, we mark a lower low in this range, then we mark a lower high once again, right? So if this weekly, monthly downtrend were to continue, we'd be looking to see us touch this lower trend line again, or potentially that support level. And that support level is around $27. So that is an area I want to mark out in case this downward trend were to continue. Now, when we zoom in on the daily time frame, it looked like this past few weeks here we were potentially going to get this breakout because we were having some price action to the upside. So the past little daily trend was an uptrend because we have this from the low, we come up and we make a new high compared to the previous, and then we made a higher low. We come and make this higher high, and now what we would be looking for is to see if that trend were to continue, we'd have to make a higher low again, right? So something I want to pay attention to in this stock is if we come back to these levels. So we're going to zoom in to see if we are going to potentially get that move to the upside here by creating a higher low in this range. So something we need to see is, are we going to come back and retest this area? It looks like we have a solid resistance zone in between this major resistance and major support. So if we were to come back into that level, make the higher low, it would keep this daily uptrend intact. And that would send us towards potentially a new higher high here, which would break us out of this downward channel. Something to pay attention to is we have earnings coming up this week, February 15th. So that's Wednesday. That earnings, if we beat it, could potentially be a catalyst. Even if we don't beat it, depending on how we react to the earnings, could be a catalyst to see if we curl up to the upside here. So that's something I'd be paying attention to if I were trading Roblox. It seems to have some decent volatility here, considering back on February 2nd, we were at 41 and now we're trading at 34. So we've made a 15% correction, and something we would be looking for here, right? For the bull's perspective is that we need to hold this range here if we want to create that higher low in this daily uptrend to get that continuation to the upside. If not, then as we seen earlier, the prevailing trend here is a weekly, monthly downtrend, right? So we potentially could have some sort of tweezer top pattern in this range, not exactly touching the same level twice, but that could be a signal of a rejection that we might need to come back and revisit this $26 range, which ultimately, with some patience, would be the better buying opportunity here, of course. So that is the breakdown here on Roblox. Easy.